Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 21 of What If Naruto Was a Smart Prodigy. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Go ahead and check out the new series, What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away. And I enjoyed that guys. And I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto Was Born in the Uzumaki clan over on Anime King. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Jiraiya came back to the village. Seeing that they came back alive, Tsunade has to go on that date with him, with that black dress that he insisted on she wearing. Currently, Naruto and Yujito were in Kumo, as Jiraiya gave Tsunade a scroll. It was an alliance from the Hidden Rain. Tsunade was beyond surprised about hearing this. While that was going on, Itachi and Sasuke were recuperating with their eyes, as their eye transplants went off smoothly. Meanwhile, Nagato found himself in a tough situation. Konoha was currently out, patrolling the city and everything. But his legs, they shoot up with pain, and it ran through the rest of his body. As Nagato found it unbearable, he dropped to the ground. It was a masked man. As Zetsu came over Nagato's body. As the masked man made a plan for that, as he placed something inside the cells once he gave Nagato the ability to reuse his legs. As Nagato was forced to use a Reni rebirth, as his hair turned pale white, the masked man reached over and ripped out his eyes and went off. The masked man brought his eyes to the newly rebirthed Madara Uchiha, as Madara asked how many tail beasts he had so far, as he told him 6. The rest of the Akatsuki are currently going after the 8 tails right now, as Zetsu informed Madara and the masked man that the 9 tails and the 2 tails are there as well. Meanwhile that was going on, Killer Bee was facing off against the other Akatsuki members, as Naruto and Yujito came after seeing Killer Bee transform into the Biju state, as they separated the Akatsuki members, as Naruto faced off against Hidan and Kakazu, as he sealed away Hidan seeing that the man couldn't die, as Naruto destroyed all of Kakazu's mask, killing the man in the process, as Yujito was back by the Ruined Sea, and Killer Bee, who was facing off against Kisame, his brother arrived and rescued him, as his brother took on Kisame. While that was going on, Naruto was surprised, as the fox growled out Madara's name, as Madara and the masked man appeared, as Madara wanted to see this new generation of Senju, to see if none of them, well, Naruto, can match Hashirama, as the both of them start a battle. As Kurama told Naruto not to hold back on this one, Madara is not an opponent that he should take lightly, as the battle became fierce in Konoha. Tsunade couldn't believe it, just how much was that sickness holding back Itachi. Despite the both of them having the eternal monkey to Sharingan, Itachi was an absolute beast, and Sasuke was nowhere near him. Some time passed after that, as Tsunade was in the office as Sakura asked her how her date went. She refused to talk about it though, as her glass cracked in her hand that she was drinking sake. Something was wrong. Itachi also felt something wrong as well, as the group managed to subdue Deidara, as Yujito looked over to see Naruto fighting, as Susanoo, as she was shocked, as a massive explosion then went off. And yeah, that was basically the last point left off. You guys can switch across the page and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Yujito was currently looking at the mountain peak that Naruto was on, as it was destroyed, as fire was raining down from it. But then Naruto flashed beside her, as she released a sigh, as he was missing most of his shirt. His pants was also cinched, but still intact. Naruto, what happened? She asked. As Naruto stared at the platform, the fire blazed on top of it. Big explosion. Very big. Toad oil and explosive notes, Naruto said, his eyes still on the platform. Flashback. Come boy, show me the power of a Senju, said Madara. As Madara placed the hand-to-hand sign, prepped another technique. Fire style. Great flame destruction. As Madara released a stream of flames towards Naruto once again. As the ground cracked under Naruto's feet and a forest sprang up everywhere. But Madara continued his fire until his eyes catch movement on top of a mountain peak. As Naruto stood at the edge of the mountain with his hands in Ram's seal. Great toad bullet! His chest puffed up as his mouth filled with toad oil. As Naruto let the toad oil fly off as it met the trees and the fires right in the center. The boy is fast, thought Madara. Not only would the oil ignite into the fire, and also he noticed paper bombs. He timed it perfectly. I'm beginning to like this Naruto Senju, he thought. Naruto oil and explosive notes met the fire as everything detonated in a massive explosion. In the flashback. And you just didn't make it far away enough in time, said Yujito, as Naruto merely nodded. You never plan for the ending to ensure your safety, do you? She said. That was just once on that sky ship that was from the Sky Nation, Naruto said. But she quickly turned her head as a blue Susanoo landed on the platform right beside Tobi. Unlike Naruto, Madara was untouched by the explosion and his Susanoo didn't even look phased in the slightest. It was at that exact moment she, Darui, and C recognized this man. Naruto, is that? As Naruto simply nodded, as all of them knew Madara Uchiha. But how is this possible? The Rinnegan has the power to bring back the dead, said Kurama. Yujito was surprised that she could hear him. Don't worry, kitten, you're not crazy, said Nibi. When you're close enough, you can enter another mindscape, another realm, and speak to another. Now listen to Kurama, he will explain it all, since he has the most run-ins with Madara, and he know more about Jiji, the Sage of Six Paths. Yujito was ready to listen, but she was grabbed by Naruto and pushed out of the way, as Madara swiped a sword, destroying a huge part of the platform. Keep your eyes peeled, you'll have to listen and move, Nico, Naruto said, as he went through hand sign. Wood style. Wood dragon! A large wooden dragon sprung from behind them as it coiled around Yujito and Naruto. As Naruto turned towards Darui and C, get out of here and get me to safety. Tell the Raikage to come, we will need him, Naruto said. As he turned back to Madara. Hashirama favorite wood dragon. Yes, a powerful technique indeed, said Madara with his arms crossed as he looked down at the both of them. But Yujito and Naruto weren't paying attention fully, because they were listening to Kurama in the momentary break of action. So, our best bet is to run, said Yujito, as Kurama internally nodded. Is he really that powerful? Yes. Naruto, do you remember how strong the imprint of Hashirama was? Just remember this, Madara is considered his equal. There is no in-between here. Use Sage Mode and go all out. Right, we can't necessarily run though, and I don't want to enter Sage Mode here, Naruto said, as he let his wood dragon slide towards Madara. We may be miles from Kumo, but if the story is true about the Valley of N, this site won't be big enough to handle that kind of destruction without leaking over into the village. So, we are leaving at the very first opening, said Yujito, as Naruto simply nodded. What about B and the Raikage, and everyone else? If we just leave, that will leave the village less guarded if we decide to attack it. As Naruto watched Madara handle his wood dragon, we will take B as well, and if he's really after us, Bijo, he won't bother taking Kumo or anything else. I'm certain of it, said Naruto as he saw his wood dragon get sliced in half by Madara. The only thing that is necessary to his plans right now are you, me, and B. Kumo will be safe, Naruto said. Yujito agreed with the plan as A then flashed into the field. He saw that the both of them weren't harmed, and then turned his eyes towards Tobi and Madara. So Darui and C weren't lying. Madara Uchiha has returned, as Madara just looked at the whole King Kage with his Sharingan. Yatsuki clan, users of the line in armor technique, an ability that bolster reflex and speed to an impressive degree. Said to be so fast even my Sharingan cannot keep up. Stay out of this, Tobi. Even if you did fight, they would only take you down since they know your techniques. I'll finish this myself. Toby just nodded as he vanished in a vortex. Even if Yujito, Naruto or A won't say it, they all know that this was a tough field to climb. For one man to say that he will handle the Raikage, and two Jinchurikis that had full control of their Bijus, that was just impossible. And the way he said it with so much confidence. I'm sorry A, I may just have to use Sage Mode in the end, Naruto said. There's just no way around it. It's okay, Naruto-san, said A. It's Kumo, it's destroyed from this battle. The civilians will be okay. They already begun evacuating. Let loose, kid. There is no way we can take him down unless we give him our best. As Naruto closed his eyes, red markings started to appear. Madara's eyes narrowed as he was intrigued. Sage Mode. You really are like Hashirama, he said. This is even better than I could have hoped for. Come, and if you're lucky, I may even show you the full power of the Uchiha before your death. As Naruto slammed his hands together, as the ground started to rumble. As the three of them begin the battle. Moments later, those moments when you thought something was difficult to do, but then something come along that made those moments seem like a cakewalk. That was the moment that Naruto was feeling right now. You know, I thought Rubik's Cube were hard to solve. As Naruto turned his head towards Yujito, as the two of them were battered and bruised. Yeah, I know what you mean. This made them look pretty damn easy, she said. As Naruto snapped his head up, feeling Madara building up his chakra. As he quickly went through hand sign, sage art, water style, giant tsunami. As he spewed out a large tsunami of water that blocked the giant wave of fire that Madara sent down towards them. As it pushed and knocked Madara Susanoo back a few steps. But he just stepped out. Pretty impressive. Managed to even knock my Susanoo a few steps back. As Madara let his arm cross, completely unharmed inside his Susanoo. That Sage Mode is rather troublesome, even like Hashirama's. Even though I wound you, your wounds regenerate almost immediately. Even faster than Hashirama's did. Probably due to that pet inside of you. As Naruto turned to look at both Yujito and A, who were both running low on stamina and not able to heal their injuries like he did. A was more worse off than Yujito though, while his lightning cloak powerful and boosts his speed. It doesn't offer much protection compared to Yujito's Jinchuriki cloak, and Madara knew it. They can't keep up with the likes of us, Senju. We are both breed from the original chakra. Despite the girl having the Biju inside of her, it is still nowhere near yours, said Madara as Naruto turned his eyes back to him. And you cannot keep possibly fighting me when you have to protect the both of them. At this point, they're nothing but a hindrance to you. He's kind of right, Naruto, said Yujito, as it was just 30 minutes now into the fight and she was straining to stand. She still had her Jinchuriki cloak flowing around her, but it wasn't as bright as it was supposed to be, and she was running low on chakra. Maybe me and A should back away and make you fight, because we're just holding you back right now. She's sort of right, said A. Bruises all over his body, and his lightning cloak had long since fizzled out. But you should keep Yujito in your sight. She can't leave, but I can. It will make it easy on you, just have to protect one of us. Still, I'm kind of mad I let him absorb my chakra and ensnare me in that pesky genjutsu. Kick his ass for me, okay? Naruto held out his fist as he gave A nod. As the both of them bumped fists as A found himself surrounded by red chakra. I may not be able to transfer as much I like, but at least that should do. Keep me safe. A nodded as he charged up another lightning cloak and headed off. It seems you're smart. You've noticed that Toby had went off a long time ago, stopped watching the fight, and went off to capture the Hatsubi. But you're a little late, I must say. My Prodigy is already over there, and you should just let the Raikage stay here and help you with your fight. As Yujito glared hatefully at Madara, thinking about B getting taken away, and most of all the man dying from the Biju getting removed from him. Why? What is this all for? Why are you collecting all the Bijus? None of this makes any sense. You were one of the ones who passed out the Bijus in the Shinobi War area. Why take them back now, when you could have just kept them all? That was before, this is now. I need the Bijus. For my Eye of the Moon plan, I'm going to place everyone in a dream world. No more wars, no bickering or feuding. Just a dream, said Madara. Naruto held on to Yujito's hand. No need to worry about that, Yuji-chan, as he turned back towards Madara fully. We won't need to know what he's planning when he's 6 feet under. And this time I'll make sure he doesn't come back. As Yujito's white necklace started to glow and pulsate, as her chakra around her exploded outwards at least 10 feet in the air. So that is what the Kyuubi's chakra felt like, she thought, as she felt the Kyuubi's chakra entering her body and the necklace helping her controlling it. As Yujito placed her hand in the ram seal, as she released a massive dose of blue flame that smashed right into Madara Susanoo. "Let's go wild," said Naruto. Meanwhile, the Hokage's tower. "Nothing yet on Naruto?" asked Navi, looking at Sakura. "Not a peep. We sent a messenger hawk to Komo. The Onbus is trying to be communicating with him through his messenger tattoo. We even sent a toad, but nothing has returned." As Navi was getting worried as the second go by. He's not dead if his Onbu tattoo still resonates. The hawk may have gotten impeded in his trips, Snally said. So we know he's alive. And if the hawk hasn't returned, something is going on at Komo. And for him not to answer the tattoo or the toad, he must be in a battle. "He is," Itachi said, as he appeared in the room with a flock of crows. "And if it's who I think it is, he may need assistance," said Sasuke, as he arrived in a fiery Sunshin. "Rude Onvu in Komo has confirmed it. Itachi was right," said Sasuke. "Madara Uchiha is alive." Snady and Sakura eyes widened at that bit of information, as Snady simply took a seat, as her legs wouldn't support her at this time. Madara Uchiha was alive, the man that faced off against her grandfather. How is that possible?" she said. As Itachi spoke up, "The leader of the Akatsuki is a user of the Rinnegan, that eye, with power over life and death. It is possible that is the cause of Madara reincarnation." Snady shook her head in disbelief. "How fast can we get to Komo?" she asked. "We won't make it in time to help him if he's already in that battle. We just have to trust that he can handle himself," said Sasuke. "But I'm just mad that I won't be there to see him go all out," Sasuke said with a smirk. "Or that I can't take on that relic myself. Dead people should just stay dead." Sasuke on his right, Snady-sama. Naruto is powerful. He did create a 1,000-tailed fox in the Hidden Rain that could have wiped out the place with ease. The optimism of them was a bit ignorant because they didn't know the full might of Madara Uchiha. As Snad and Itachi know the better though, because this is truly a dangerous situation. But she wouldn't say anything to bring down their morale or their support. Meanwhile, with Naruto Yujito versus Madara, it's futile. If you can't even break through this version of Susanoo, you cannot win, said Madara after taking a powerful fire blast from Yujito, as it hit Susanoo right in the face. But it was just scorched a bit, but it was perfectly fine. "Oh, we weren't trying to break it, just to blind you for a few seconds," said Yujito. Madara's eyes went wide as a branch lashed her in his arm. As Madara looked down to see a branch underneath, he was thrust out of Susanoo, with Naruto there waiting for him. Naruto threw a powerful fist towards his head, but Madara ducked under it as Naruto sent a knee towards his gut. Madara twisted his body and flipped around it, as the both of them started to lash out at each other. "You should be breaking his arms and his legs with the force of Sage Jutsu Chakra," said Kurama, but he absorbed the Nibi Chakra and he's using it to reinforce his defense. "Are you admiring him?" Naruto asked as he thrust his fist at Madara's stomach. A Rasengan formed in a split second and he drive it straight inside the man's stomach. "I'm just letting you know it's useless the way you're fighting. He can handle the influx of Sage Jutsu." As Naruto Rasengan was absorbed by Madara before he could truly hit him. "I do know one way you can fight him though." "Let me hear it," Naruto said as he was now on the defenses as Madara sending kicks and punches after him. "You fight well. Your taijutsu is impressive and your timing is sharp," said Madara. "But I can absorb your chakra and use it against you." As Madara backed that fact up, as the chakra he absorbed from Naruto, a cloak came around him. He twisted his body and lashed out with a powerful kick towards Naruto's stomach. Naruto brought his hands up and blocked the kick, but it sent him skidding back several feet. Yujito landed next to Naruto, as Madara Susanoo started to walk back over to him. "You got the plan," said Kurama, as Naruto nodded. Yujito nodded as well as she heard the plan. "Sage art, wood style, final, nativity of a sea of trees." Madara's eyes widened for a split second before the entire mountain was swallowed by enormous trees. Trees bloom everywhere in the span of 5 seconds. "You just have techniques like this still?" said Yujito, as she and Naruto was out of the way from the chakra siphoning trees. As Naruto nodded at her, "So, our spars, they mean literally nothing," she said. "No, you beat me fair and square, Yuji-chan. Don't get down on yourself," Naruto said, as he looked in the forest. "Yes it does," she said. "Just how strong are you? This is getting out of hand." Naruto's eyes went wide, and so did Yujito's, as Naruto's trees were blown away. "What? Kurama? What the hell is that?" Naruto said, as he saw Susanoo, but this one was not normal. The thing was large, towering over them. "That's the final form of a true Susanoo," said Kurama. "So that's what that feel like," Naruto said, as he was the one who usually showed superpower techniques, not used to witnessing them, something of this magnitude. "You may want to use that now," said Kurama. "You know, kid, you really are something else. Something this generation should be proud of," said Madara, as he had bruises on his body from the quick spawning of trees that battered him when they were growing. "Hashirama should be proud of what you came. And to make me use this jutsu, Hashirama was the only person to see it. The true Susanoo," said Madara. Madara then slashed, as one slash took off a lot of the mountain heads, blowing back any remaining trees that stood in his way. "I need a little more time," Naruto said, as he poofed out a seal from his arm. Madara looked at it. The scroll of sealing," he said, as Naruto stopped on one of them, as he slammed his hand down, sealing ceremony of wood style. A heavenly glow went up from the seal, as it then expanded in a bright light, blinding everyone for a few seconds. When the light died down, Madara, Naruto and Yujito were standing in a barren land, with all the trees gone, and even Madara Susanoo was gone as well. A full jutsu that absorbed techniques and also altered the battlefield. A flatter ground held Mokiton users more than a mountain would. "And you even managed to remove my full Susanoo without facing his wrath," said Madara. "Oh, you're wrong," Naruto said, as Madara raised an eyebrow, as he realized, yes, that seal doesn't just make your technique disappear, it sealed it. You can't use that full Susanoo of yours, as long as this seal remains. I, in return, can't use any form of wood style, until this seal fades as well. But it's a good price to pay to get rid of that monstrous technique of yours. You truly live up to your surname." Naruto and Yujito dashed forward, ready to tear him apart. But Madara slammed his hands together. Wheelgrave, border jail, as Yujito and Naruto were surprised when they were so close. A force that felt like an elephant 100 times smashed into them as a massive gust filled the air, blocking their view. What the hell was that? It felt nothing like Nagato's version of his push, Naruto said. Madara then slammed his hand on the ground. "Summoning," he said, as Naruto watched as a massive statue appeared, as the statue released a thunderous roar. "That's it. That is what Sasuke was talking about back then. Is it, Kurama? The 10 tails, right? That's the shell of the Jobe. It needs our chakra to fully form." As Naruto and Yujito felt a force grab them tightly. "What is this? I can barely move," said Yujito, as Naruto felt the same way. "I'll be taking your Biju," said Madara, as 2 chains fly out of the mouth of the statue, grabbing both Yujito and Naruto tightly. "There is no use struggling. Once I latch on, there is never letting go," said Madara. "Sage Art, Gate of the Great God." Madara's eyes went wide, as he couldn't believe Naruto was behind him, as many gates dropped from the sky, pinning down the statue. All few senjus are the same," said Madara, as he was behind Naruto. "Too bad you didn't get her out of there in time." Naruto's eyes widened as he saw the demonic chain still lashed around her neck, holding her firm. "That's a full jutsu. How is it still?" As Naruto's eyes widened as he saw the silhouette of a Nebe being pulled out of Yujito. "Like I said, once I latch on, I never let go," said Madara. As Nebe was getting pulled out of her, Naruto vanished in a high-speed Shanshin, as Madara thought it was some sort of teleportation. Well, looked that way. Naruto-kun, said Yujito in a weak voice, as she felt Nibi getting ripped from her. No, said Naruto as he caught her as Nibi was ripped out of her. I won't lose you again, he said. Madara looked over as he saw something concerning. Vines wrapped around the Gedo statue, as they were connected to Naruto. He's stealing. The Gedo's chakra and funneled it through himself to the girl. I don't think so. Wheelgrave, border jail, said Madara. But before anything could happen, Naruto vanished in Yujito. It seems you learned a new trick, said Madara, knowing that that wasn't a Sonshin. Moments earlier, at Mount Miyaboku. Okay guys, I think I got it this time, said a clone of Naruto as he stood in front of 6 other clones. The clone was looking at a piece of paper that had a seal on it, as he channeled his chakra. Harishin, as he vanished from his position and landed right on top of the paper. But their eyes went wide, because he appeared with no skin on his body. He screamed out in pain before poofing away. Ouch, that looks so bad, said one of the other clones. Hey, I fixed it, said another. He didn't do this curve right. As they all start to agree, the clone then got poofed away, as another grabbed the paper. I'm telling boss I did it correctly. Dumbass, you just dispel him. The man's gonna know anyway. The real Naruto then flashed right there with Yujito in his arms. My goodness, boss, you scared us. We didn't know that you were coming, so he then stopped as he noticed the unconscious Yujito in Naruto's hands, the near dead Yujito, and Naruto wounds. She's fine guys, thank you. You guys really did save us. They all gave him a salute as he dispelled them. You're right, your quick thinking saved her. Naruto slowly turned around hearing the voice, as he saw a man in front of him floating in the air, with a long goatee and horn-like protrusions on his forehead. His eyes were the Rinnegan, and in the middle of his forehead was another Rinnegan but red in color. On his right hand was a circle, and on his left was a dark moon. You're him. The Sage of the Sixth Path, Naruto said, looking at the man after hearing Kurama's description. Naruto then got up. You seem like a patient man. I'll tend to Yuji-chan first, and then I'll come back. The sage simply smiled and nodded. I'll be here waiting, the sage said. You don't know what you have just done, but you will be the one that has to do this. You just have to, he said as Naruto walked away. The next day in Konoha. So, how long has this been going on? Questioned Sakura, as Tsunade cup fall off, but she caught it before it could drop to the ground. Since he came back, as Naruto was currently in Training Ground 44, as a large output of chakra came bursting out every time. Ever since he arrived, he has been in the forest of death, prepping for Madara's arrival. There was no way Madara wasn't coming, especially since Naruto's a beacon with the output of chakra he was releasing. Can someone go stop him though? It might get out of hand, Tsunade-sama, said Sakura as another violent output shake Konoha. We tried, the entire class of your Rookie 9 went in there. Well, not Shikamaru and yourself, but Naruto spit them all back. Sasuke too, said Tsunade. Itachi went in there and he stayed longer than everyone else, but he came out back, tired, as Naruto trumped him because of his infinite chakra supply, and he was our best bet, really. Well, you're the Hokage, maybe you can get him to stop. There are tons of complaints from the civilian. Tsunade Sayashi nodded. Well, let's go try and stop him. 10 minutes later, the force of death. The tremors grew stronger the closer you got. By the time you got there, it felt like a full-fledged earthquake. Tsunade had a megaphone, as behind her was dozens of shinobi, ready to stop Naruto. They knew he wouldn't kill them, but the earthquakes, they're becoming dangerous. Naruto, I have got numerous complaints about your activity, and despite how far you're away from the village, it's still disturbing, said Tsunade through the megaphone. I'm giving you to the count of 10 to stop, or I will have to use force to stop you. As Tsunade started counting her head, going slower as she got near to 10. Tsunade-sama, do we have to? One of the ninja asked. It seems we have to. Alright everyone, wait, said one of the Inusaka members. It seems like we have a ringer. As Yujito landed. Is that my Naruto over there, she said, as goosebumps on her skin, as she felt Naruto over dominating presence through the area. Who else would it be, said Tsunade. Go ahead, you're probably the best at stopping him, since you're awake now. As Yujito went off into the forest. After a couple of seconds, the chakra output wasn't so potent anymore and the tremor stopped. Tsunade simply smiled as a group of shinobi behind her cheered in happiness and relief. As they start to file out, except for one Inuzaka member. Yes, said Tsunade. Not to speculate, but it's hard not to, because of our clan closeness to our dog partners. Naruto-san is a fox, if you will, and Yujito is a cat, both of which release pheromones, and Naruto's releasing a lot due to his power output. That is why Hana and the other female members in the com, they were all riled up since we're so sensitive to them. Even you all probably feel that way, probably on a lesser scale though. Interesting. But what does it have to do with anything? Asked Tsunade. As she had an idea, but she just assumed that her mind was in the gutter. Well, Yujito-san is the same as all of our female Inuzakas, drawn here because of Naruto Alpha presence. And when she arrived, her body started to let off her own pheromones in preparation. And that usually only happens when it's time to mate, and well, Sakura placed a hand to her mouth rather quickly, as Tsunade just nodded. The ninja then bid his Hokage farewell, as he went off. Well, at least it stopped the tremors, said Tsunade. You know, you should have been pursuing him back in the day, Sakura. He's probably giving it to her how she wants it, and you know his stamina is... Tsunade-sama, said Sakura, cutting off her sensei. As Sakura felt her body heat up, as she took a calming breath. We need to get out of here. Clearly he was right about that pheromone thing, I need to leave. Naruto on the brain? Tsunade questioned. As Tsunade was immune to that effect, seeing that she's seen Naruto like a son. You know what, you couldn't even handle him. He'd probably wear you out and leave you out of commission for days, probably even weeks. Never walk in the same way again. As Sakura quickly ran off, as Tsunade just chuckled to herself. She then came to a stop. Come on out, Jiraiya, I know you're there. As she arrived, Jiraiya came out of the trees with a sour look on his face. You always know when I'm here, said Jiraiya as he stand up look at Tsunade. It's not like I was gonna peep or anything. Why not, said Tsunade. Jiraiya was shocked as she pulled out a camera. I plan on filming it and selling it for money, she said. Jiraiya smirked. Let's go, she said, as Jiraiya raised his hand. Two things. 1. How did you pull that camera from your chest and it wasn't visible in your shirt? 2. Can I get a whiff of that thing? It was probably right next to your wonderful breath. He was sent sailing away from a super powered punch. The next day, Konoha main gate. That's got to be some kind of a record. 7 hours? I mean goddamn 7 hours, said Anko. As she wasn't there to fight, as she was just here to ease the nerves and send off her favorite Jinchuriki. I really need something like that in my life, she said. A laugh came from the group as Naruto simply smiled. As the rest of the group consists of Sasuke, Itachi, Sakura, Kakashi, Yujito, and Tsunade, and Jiraiya. As Naruto stood in front of the group in his Anbu uniform, with his forehead protector, shining brightly, he had on an orange cloak with flames on the end of it, and on his back had a scroll of seals on it. It's time, Naruto said, as he opened his golden slit eyes, as a vortex opened up in front of them. Appearing from the vortex was Tobi, Zetsu, Kisame, and Madara. As a glow from Madara Sharingan just peered into Naruto's eyes only, no one else. He was only focused on Naruto. 4 against 8. It seems we're outnumbered. Let's even that up a bit, said Tobi. From the horizon, as hundreds upon hundreds of white Zetsu clones were coming, with smiles on their faces. There are so many of them, Sakura said, gasping at the number of Zetsus approaching them. I got this, Sasuke said, as he jumped over the group along with Jiraiya to handle the Zetsu clones. Along with them was hundreds of Konoha root that followed after them. Itachi, said Kisame, and with that the both of them flashed away. Kakashi turned right, as him and Tobi vanished off. As Yujito gave Naruto a hand one last squeeze before vanishing. Hi, she said as she appeared in front of black and white Zetsu, as she slammed a fist into his face. As she followed after him, Naruto. Behind him was Sakura and Tsunade, as both him and Madara just looked at each other. As Tsunade and Sakura felt out of place, the chakra between them, it was just suffocating. This is exactly how Gigi used to be, she thought. As Tsunade watched Naruto blinked away, as both him and Madara connect their fists, sending a ripple wave, as the battle began ferociously. But guys, I'm ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And I'm not going to be able to post what if Naruto was from the two greatest clans tonight. I'm going to be posting that tomorrow, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and I really hope that you guys enjoy. I'm going to be posting early for you guys to enjoy. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Animaking family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.